Okay, for the next presentation, I will like to invite the CEO of Akrivia. Now, before I invite him, there are a few words I like to say about Akrivia. As you know, country's progress also is because of innovation and self-reliant. So Akrivia is an Indian startup company or Indian, the product developed is by an Indian company. It's a pure 100% Indian company. And I would like all of you to please welcome Mr. Rahul with big round of applause. Why? Because they are also having a product launch today, and they're also contributing towards in national growth or the nation's growth because it's an 100% Indian subsidiary or an Indian company. Can we welcome Rahul with big round of applause, please?
So very good evening to everyone, and I would really thank you from the bottom of my heart for making time to attend our event, and I hope that you'll probably gain some insights from my presentation and the panel discussion that we have after this. So to get started, so we are an enterprise HRMS suite for the entire high to retire life cycle. So I'll start with our story. So we started off in the year 2016 when we established our company Akrivia Automation, and in the year 2017 we started building a product called FactTwin. So I have a background in mechanical engineering and product design, so which motivated me to build the product called FactTwin. So FactTwin is an acronym for Factory Twin. It's a real-time analytics product which gives factory floor data on the cloud with our own custom drivers. So while we were, so we have a lot of customers for the product today, like Danone, Daimler, and a lot of other large enterprises across India. So when we were implementing this product for large enterprises, we had to integrate with the HR data with their existing HR system. So that's when we came across the HR tech landscape in the year 2017, end of 2017. So that's when we understood that there was a chance for us to disrupt this space because it was moving from an on-prem kind of approach to a cloud approach. And so in early 2018, we started building our second product, which is Akrivia HCM, which we're launching today. So the reason it took us 4.5 years to build this product, and with more than 250 engineers working exclusively for Akrivia HCM for the last 4.5 years, was we always wanted a position among the large enterprise players like SuccessFactors or Workday or Oracle. So it took us a lot of time to build the depth that these products have to offer, the breadth that these products have to offer, and still disrupt it with the framework which I'm going to come to next. So even before we started building the product, we wanted to understand how we could differentiate, right? Because HRMS has been, I think, from the days of PeopleSoft in the 1980s, it has been in different forms, has existed for a very long time, right? So, and today we have a lot of cloud products also. When we started building the product, there was SuccessFactors, there was Workday, there was Oracle, there were a lot of Indian players also. So we built this framework called, it's an acronym called EPIC, but it's essentially product innovation, customer centricity, and organizational enablement. And everything that we do, every feature that we build, every business process that we do today is kind of aligned with this EPIC framework. And the EPIC framework is what really essentially differentiates us from all the products that exist in the market today. So when I come to product innovation, we have 6 different facets to it. The first one is product breadth. So we are the only HRMS provider in India currently that offers the entire breadth of the employee life cycle in-house. So we have our full-fledged LMS, we have multi-country payroll, we have a very comprehensive engagement module. We also have a lot of breadth in terms of leave attendance and other core modules as well. The second one is depth, and I'm sure you'll agree that when it comes to large enterprises that are spread across geographies and different employee types, and one size fit all does not work. You have different workflows, you have a lot of configurability has to exist in the system to align with the business requirements that the organization is currently following. So today, at least I can tell you that in terms of depth, we are among the best in terms of what we can offer from a configurability perspective. The third one, which I think again a lot of products today kind of emphasizes the user experience. So we believe that user experience is not just vibrant colors or fancy UI, but more to do with the user research part. So we have done a lot of work on user research to try to make it as intuitive as possible. And our vision in terms of UX is to finally end up with something where all stakeholders, whether it's the user, whether it's the I mean, the end user, be the employee, the HR, or even someone who's managing the product in-house with configurations, should be able to do that without any training. So that's the end goal with respect to the user experience part that we have worked on. The fourth and a very important part is, see, essentially we're a technology company, so the advantage of having started in 2018 was that we were able to use a very modern tech stack. So apart from a lot of databases that we use, we also use GraphDB, which is a machine learning focused database, which gives predictive insights very, very easily without going over RDBMSs and clunky databases. Similarly, we use AWS Redshift for our data warehousing application. So not just do we use Redshift for giving you analytics and reports, but also we provide connectors with Redshift to Power BI or Tableau for you to add other dimensions of data that you get from ERP systems to build your own insights from by connecting it to other sources of data. The fifth one, and a very important one, is the integration readiness. So we are one of the very few companies, I think only the second company, Indian company, to have our own iPaaS. iPaaS is an acronym for Integration Platform as a Service. So we've built this consciously because we understand that most of you here are using products in the market already today, right? So for you to displace or change the product to a new product it takes a lot of confidence to do that. So initially we have ready-made integrations with SuccessFactors, Workday, Oracle, ADP, a lot of other legacy systems, so that you can pick and choose some of our modules initially. Once you feel that it's something that you can, your employees are liking and it's fitting your requirements, which is when you can make the complete switch. So we have a very robust REST API, Open API system, plus we have our own iPaaS. So you don't have to use, say, a MuleSoft or a Dell Boomi for integrations. You can use our own iPaaS. The final one in the product innovation part was price. So though we've built a product that will definitely, we're looking at entering other markets like Southeast Asia, North America, and the Middle East. But we've priced it very, very competitively for India. So we're probably the most affordably priced enterprise HRMS product in the current market today. So the second tenet of our Epic framework is the customer centricity. The first facet here is value identification. So I'm sure all of you must have implemented a lot of HRMS tools in your experience, right? And I'm sure everyone is faced where the HRMS player will kind of promise the moon, and when it comes to implementation there is a lot of gap, right? So we believe in probably under promising and over delivering, which is why we offer something called value identification. So we have a very strong and robust pre-sales consulting approach, where even before we send a proposal across to the organization, we do a comprehensive business process analysis and see how it aligns with your current organization. We have premium MBAs who have extensive experience in pre-sales, and which is why we feel that our implementation times are very aggressive and attractive, because we do have a very comprehensive pre-sales process, which is where we show you the value of the product even before we get into implementation. The second one is expert solutioning. So our implementation process, we follow a very robust 6-step solutioning process, where every single business process is mapped, right from understanding a business process, suggesting a workaround if there is any, optimizing the business process, doing a UAT, and then going live. Again, all of our implementation consultants are MBAs in HR, and they're not, so they come with a functional experience in HR, which again adds to the consulting approach. What we also do is we provide change management as a service. So at the end of the day, product adoption is a challenge today, irrespective of how many modules we offer. If it does not get adopted across the life cycle, you're not going to get the insights and data that we expect out of a modern day HRMS system. So we offer change management as well. The fourth one is our customer success part. So unlike other companies where it's more of a transactional way, where you raise a ticket or basically getting questions answered, we follow a very proactive solutioning approach, because we release features on every 15 days we release, every fortnight we release new features, right? So it's very important that all of our customers start using these features and kind of extract the value out of them. So our customer success is more of, it's more like having probably your employee part of some working from our office, right? So that's the approach that we have towards customer success. The fifth one is a customer reinforced roadmap. So again, a roadmap is a word that not many people like, but our roadmaps are very, very, I would say short. We have 1 month roadmap typically that we promise on, and all these roadmaps are typically generated based on industry-specific use cases. So as much as HRMS systems are industry agnostic, I think especially localization with respect to industry is very, very important, and we understand that, which is why we have customer reinforced roadmaps so that we start delivering value to every industry and not just providing common modules. Finally, with our product innovation and customer centricity, what we want to do is enable organizations to succeed. So which is the third part of the EPIC framework that we have. So the first thing that we try to achieve is automation at scale. At the end of the day, the reason most digitalization projects go forward is to automate transactional tasks, reduce turnaround times, and being able to configure unique policies and workflows across different geographies. So the first thing that we wanted to do was first fix the automation part and do it at scale so that the next levels of insights and learning and predictive and analytics and all these things can start working. The second thing that we do is power organizations with industry best practices. So I hope you all will agree that HR best practices are something that keep changing, right? Today there is OKR, tomorrow there may be a new framework. Today there is chatbots, enabled surveys, or so these keep changing, and we are at the forefront of building and giving these features to you so that you can implement these best practices as and when it becomes a trend in the industry. The third part is the employee experience design. So what we believe as employee experience design is essentially what an employee undergoes right from being interviewed as a candidate to leaving the organization. So every process can be configured, and we have a lot of configurability in the process, which makes the experience very, very positive, right? So the other enablement that we provide is the employee experience design across the employee lifecycle. The fourth one is analytics. Now, I'm sure you're aware that most products today offer descriptive and diagnostic analytics, but we are also working on predictive and prescriptive analytics, which I'm going to get into. So for normal descriptive and diagnostic analytics, we have your quality of hire, attrition, learning effectiveness. We have 100+ normal analytics that we offer, which you can compare across a lot of dimensions. But the predictive part is what we're currently working on, which we believe is going to be the future. It's things like attrition, risk prediction, interview scorecard, goal completion probability, and things like that. And we're able to do that because we collect thousands of data points across the employee life cycle. The fifth one is deep learning and machine learning powered insights. So just like signals and analytics is helping the HR take decisions, similarly we believe that employees also have to be provided with the advantage of machine learning. So we provide a lot of nudges in terms of learning recommendations, career projections, and things like that from a machine learning perspective, from an employee's perspective as well. So we offer more than 20+ modules, and like I said, I believe that we're the only product that offers a lot of modules like compensation management, like learning management, like a lot of other modules which we offer in-house, which no other Indian company at least offers. And in terms, we're hosted on AWS, and we are ISO 27001 certified, which is the information security standard. We are also SOC 2 certified, which is a security standard, and then we're also compliant with GDPR in terms of data protection. So I'll try to briefly, because in the interest of time, I'll briefly go through the different modules that we offer, the core modules or the important modules that we offer. So I'll start with our HR Foundation module. So in HR Foundation, you get a complete employee profile. You can create custom fields with custom validations, enabling you to collect all types of employee data and have them in one place. The employee data also can be localized for each geography. You can also create custom roles with add, edit, view privileges for all modules. And then for documents, you can manage all documents in one place. You can send reminders. Similarly, for reporting structures, we can have close to 10 levels of reporting structures, including line managers, matrix managers for cross-functional reporting, department heads, etc. You can also store all the skill and competency data, including proficiency levels, which serve as an input for our LMS and PMS modules, including succession planning. For staffing models, we have both position and job management staffing models. So here you can see the skill and competency data on the screen, I think. And we also have a delegation feature, which wherein you can delegate your requests and approvals based on a manager's expectation. In terms of notifications for HR Foundation, we also have all configurable notifications, including distributed lists, and channels like we offer these notifications on WhatsApp, web, SMS, and email as well. So coming to the next module, which is recruitment. So we have our system that is integrated with job boards like Naukri, where you can pull resumes from. And you can also create custom links to redirect from your career page. So here you can see that you can select different job boards based on each RRF. So all these things are configurable on it at an RRF level. Then you can create custom interview rounds, including integrations and assessments with assessment platforms like HackerRank or other platforms. You can also have, if you have a lot of walk-ins for blue-collar workers, we also have a QR-based system for resume pooling. You can also create your own custom career page and create custom fields in that form to collect whatever fields you want and do screening based on that or auto shortlisting. We also have an AI-enabled parsing algorithm for resume parsing, resume ranking against JDs. We also have similar recommendations from an existing resume database on our application, and also for applicants we have a recommendation for job recommendations on the career page as well. For ease of use, we have bulk schedule of interviews. We are integrated with MS Teams and Zoom for interview scheduling, integrated with Outlook for checking availability of the interviewer. You can also configure all interview feedback templates and also kind of restrict the access that the other interviewers have in terms of the feedback data. We also offer bulk offer generation with your own offer templates with hundreds of custom tags. And then we have digital sign integrations for compliance with eMudra, Zoho Sign, and DocuSign for compliance. Similarly, from an analytics standpoint, like I said, we have all KPIs like time to hire, quality of hire, offer acceptance ratio, a lot of other recruitment analytics. Coming to the next module, which is our onboarding module, we offer a very comprehensive onboarding module allowing you to assign custom workflows with different candidates and stakeholder tasks so that you can build a custom onboarding journey for your candidates. Tasks like offer letter acceptance, document uploads, BG check verification, vendor integration, any other pre-joining activities can be configured here. And these things can then be monitored by the HR, send reminders, and then engage with the candidate in order to increase offer acceptance. Coming to the leave and absence management module, so you can create custom dashboards for HR with different widgets that we offer. From a configurability standpoint, we have very complex custom rules for accruals, for probation. So based on a lot of dimensions like age, experience, any static field that you have, we can basically build custom accruals around that. We also provide a lot of complex leave sandwich policies if your organization is looking at that. We also have N-level parallel and sequential workflows for leave approval. Here you can see the apply leave screen on the web app that we have. It also provides you with who's on leave on the same day, both for the one who's approving at the same time for the one who's applying. Request data again is transparent here. Similarly, we offer analytics for leave and absence management as well. Coming to the time and attendance module, obviously we offer seamless integrations with all biometric systems. Here also you can create your own custom dashboards for HRs or any other managerial role positions. We also provide continuous punch-in for sales and marketing employees. We offer selfie and facial recognition punch for work from home employees or a hybrid workforce. We offer split shifts, flexi shifts, auto shift allocation for accurate in and out punch identifications, auto OT calculations, and what is being shown currently, we are directly integrated with payroll, so no manual intervention is needed. Once you lock attendance, everything gets calculated automatically, and a lot of manual intervention can also be done in case you want to change something in the last minute even after payroll has been done. Here you can look at web check-in, which we do by, you can also have different IP ranges through which web check-in can be done to see that your employees are complying with your org's expectations. Attendance details also everyone can clearly look at, because we have a lot of different shift sessions and a lot of different policies, so all punches get recorded. And similarly, we have reports and analytics just like the other modules. So coming to payroll, we are probably the most automated payroll product in the market today. Currently, we have payrolls for India, about 7 countries in Southeast Asia and the Middle East. So here you can see the employers can submit tax declaration based on predefined timelines. They can manage loans and salary advances with automatic deduction from monthly payroll. You can also manage flexi benefits with yearly, monthly planning for optimal tax planning as well. And then we have system generated PF, ECR, ESI, TDS forms like 24Q, 26AS, Form 16 with digital sign integration as well. And the main, I would say, unique selling point for our payroll module is the component structure that we have. So you can build hundreds of components with a lot of custom logics, which enable any sort of salary structure to be built into the system. Similarly, we have complete integration with full and final integration module of ours for seamless end of service benefit calculation. So here you can see all the pre-checks that the payroll manager has access to. So he can always verify all the pre-checks and then run payroll and then generate bank statements, generate JVs. We integrate with a lot of financial systems. So all the payroll data then gets submitted to the financial system. Coming to the next module, which is our performance management system. So for performance management, we offer 2 frameworks for goal management using the balanced scorecard model as well as the OKR model. We provide cascading and alignment also for the same. So you can customize how KRAs can be assigned, who can update KRAs, everything in terms of permissions and updations can be configured based on requirements. Here you can see the OKR framework of goal management that we have. So we have our key results that can be aligned with other key results, and then progress can also be rolled up or rolled down as well based on the requirement. When it comes to appraisal, we offer very configurable appraisal steps like self-review, manager review, acknowledgement. You can also add custom rounds like competency review, potential rating, and then we also have standardization and normalization. You can fix timelines, you can override timelines. So anything and everything that's needed in terms of running an appraisal is in the system from a configurability perspective. You can again assign custom weightages to each reviewers in the reviewer stage as well if you want a scoring system based on that. For continuous performance management also, we offer one-to-one meetings and continuous feedback. So here you can see the normalization and standardization part as well. Then we also have a separate 360-degree feedback module where you can analyze the strengths and weaknesses of each employee. So this is a very comprehensive 360-degree feedback and not a generic one. Similarly, we have a PIP module also where you can assign goals for low performers and track their performance after an appraisal has been completed. Similarly, we have a succession planning module also, which is integrated with the skill and competency data that I just showed you in the first slide. It has access to PMS data and all of the data points, enabling you to compare successors for critical positions. Here you can see different employees and different talent pools, which you can also keep and store. You can compare employees and see who is the best successor. And this can be done throughout the year and not just during an appraisal process. The next module that I'm coming to is the learning management system. So like I said, with very few players which has an in-house learning management system. This is the learning management dashboard. You can create your own content for self-paced courses, blended courses, even classroom courses also can be managed from here with nominations and workflows if needed. For content, you can add videos, configure quizzes, create assignments for evaluation which can be evaluated by the trainer, and then scores can be submitted through his login. You can also set custom catalogs for different sets of employees to track their progress. You can generate certificates out of course completion which also carry a validity as well. Like some safety trainings, if you have some validity, you can always do that. Here you can see for a trainee, you can add different batches and then open it for nominations, or you can keep it open. You can have manager nominations, HR nominations, whichever way the workflow works in an organization. For content, again, we provide, because there's a lot of third-party content in the LMS space, we are compliant with SCORM and XAPI formats. So if you have content that's SCORM and XAPI compliant, you can add these courses here and track the learning progress here. Similarly, we have surveys.
Due to an incident, it may be necessary to evacuate the building. Please listen for more information. Attention, please. Due to an...
Okay, I hope I can ignore that, I suppose. So you can run surveys for both the training, to understand the training effectiveness and the course effectiveness once each course is completed. Coming to the next module that we have, which is the R&R module, which is the reward and recognition module. Here you can configure awards based on frequency. You can configure nominations. You can generate certificates.
Attention, please. Due to an incident, it may be necessary to evacuate the building. Please listen for more information.
So here you can see there you can configure awards, and then employees have a great experience of learning about those awards. We also have a peer recognition platform where there's a social feed to recognize and appreciate employees instantly, which enables you to build a collaborative performance culture. We have leaderboards that create a sense of competition among employees, and also helps in driving the adoption of this module. And we are also integrated with ZozoDay currently for redemption of these points, and you can do it directly from the platform without having to sign in separately. Yeah, so coming to the next module of ours, which is the engagement module. So we have a very comprehensive employee engagement module. So we offer incident surveys, which enable you to trigger surveys during key life cycle events, like after 1 year of completion of service, or after getting an appraisal or getting a promotion, which allows you to understand the sentiment of the employee. We also have a driver-based engagement survey where you can configure based on selected groups and run these surveys across all of your employees throughout the year. Most importantly, we have our natural language processing algorithms that allow you to detect the sentiment of these responses and then give you keyword. We also do keyword extraction so that you don't need to go through all these responses, but understand what the key root cause concerns are of your employees and take action on them. We also provide an employee risk score based on these surveys so that you can act on employees which probably might be unhappy with something, and take action, corrective action to retain this talent. So we also offer native mobile apps for Android and iOS, and most of our modules today, like attendance, leave, approvals, help desk, surveys, and goals, are already available on the app. And our goal is to see that every action that an HR has to probably do, which is critical, and everything that the user has to do can be done through mobile going ahead. That's the roadmap that we have. We also have an AI-powered chatbot, which has voice assistance capabilities as well. So an employee can manage almost all of his activities from the mobile app itself without having to log in into the web app at all. So coming to the analytics module, so like I said, so we have a reports module as well where we offer both standard and custom reports. So standard reports, custom, and we have about 200 plus standard reports, and obviously custom reports can be configured as per your requirement and generated. Coming to the analytics module, like I said, we offer standard analytics, which are the descriptive and diagnostic analytics, which you can see here, which straightforward analytics, which you can compare across demography, across a lot of different parameters that we offer, and understand different insights from it. But more important than the analytics part, I think we have something called the signals, which is a predictive and prescriptive analytics part that we do. So like I was mentioning, this is from a lot of data that we capture. So this is the attrition risk signal. So we collect a lot of data like where is the work location, where is the residence of the employee, how many years has he stayed in the current position. So we have like 50-60 parameters on which the model has been the system has been modeled, the signal has been modeled, and this enables us to give predictions on the risk of an employee rather than a manager giving the risk of an employee. It's the machine learning algorithm that gives the risk for you to take action. And we have currently about 10 signals, and we're adding more signals every single month. So eventually we want to move to more of a predictive and prescriptive approach from a diagnostic and a descriptive approach in terms of analytics. Finally, coming to our iPaaS module, like I said, I'm sure all of you must be using a lot of systems already. It could be a financial system, it could be an ERP system, or even an HR system also might have multiple systems that you use today. So we have our own iPaaS module, which again shows the extensibility of our platform. So if you want to choose one or two of our modules and integrate, we are probably the most integratable product in the market today. Finally, we urge all HR leaders to move from legacy to next gen of HRMS products. And I'm coming to the last slide, which is the Akrivia Ambassador Program. So we understand that the HR fraternity has to kind of gain confidence in the product today. So we want to onboard ambassadors who can look at our product in detail, give feedback, and help us build solutions that are industry centric, and be part of the journey of building Akrivia HCM as probably the choice of Fortune 500 companies across the world. And I'd be more than happy to speak to you after the event to understand how we can collaborate on the same. Thanks a lot for your time.
So earlier I thought there are many hands. Okay, so one question, like in the geotagging and attendance thing, is it manual, like you have to punch in, or it will automatically take once you log into the geotagging area?
It doesn't do it automatically because it takes a lot of battery from the mobile phone. So you have to go and punch in. So
is it possible, like if
it is possible, but when you have the GPS system working 24/7, your battery life will go down by 50%. So which is why we have not done that, but it's a feature that we can build if you really want.
I think this is one current issue.
Right.
Not all employees are so comfortable. They don't remember exactly at that time, to punch.
True, sir. So currently we don't do that because of the constraints.
I think they can charge at office, so that's not a problem.
Sure.
Hi, Rahul.
Hi. Hello,
Hi,
sir.
can you hear me?
Hi.
Okay. Rahul, my name is Varun. I work for Baxter. Congratulations, first of all, a great product, great launch, and it's great to see a lot of modules coming together.
Thank you, sir.
My question to you, a couple of questions actually. Starting with the last slide, the ambassador piece which you spoke about.
Could you speak a little louder, sir, because I'm not able to clearly.
Okay.
Yeah.
So my question is around the last
Sure.
slide which we spoke about the ambassadorship, right? We implemented Workday, and what worked really well for Workday was the community way of getting feedback, right? And that worked wonders for them. And it was not about only the ambassadors, but getting feedback from the real users, whether it is customers or employees and so on. So my question to you is, do you have a way of getting feedback, not only from the ambassadors, but actually from anyone and everyone? Because I think that would be a great way for you guys to have your way forward, new versions, upgradations, and enhancements.
So we do that through the customer reinforced roadmap that I mentioned in the Epic slide, sir. So where our product managers, our implementation consultants, our everyone who's pre-sales consultants who are working closely with both our customers and prospective customers. So our roadmap is essentially, because today we already have a base structure in place. So any new feature has to be something that is coming from a customer or a user, right? So which is what I was kind of alluding to in the customer reinforced roadmap. So we are continuously seeking feedback, and not just from the ambassador program, but from everything that we do, from pre-sales, from implementations. So that is where we get our inputs from, and we are very open and kind of very seriously take all this feedback and execute that in the product, as long as it does not affect the structural integrity of the product.
Okay, great. And as of now, you're focusing more on Indian market, it looks like, because what is your focus on language capabilities? I didn't hear about that, because if you plan, because I heard you saying that you want to take it to other countries as well. So what is your plan for languages capability into this?
Yeah, so currently we have about 6 languages in India, and then, so like I said, I didn't mention that, but we have about 20 beta customers, not large customers. So we have customers in Southeast Asia and the Middle East as well. So we have Arabic, we have certain Southeast Asian languages, and then we have some important languages like Marathi, Hindi, and Telugu, and Tamil, and some other languages in India currently. So language localization is something that we will be doing, and we already have a set of languages, and we keep adding them as and when we enter a new geography.
Okay, great. Sorry, last question from my side. From payroll standpoint, I see that a lot of international market players are struggling with payroll products as such, right? And is it only your focus from payroll is only to the Indian market, or is it towards the other? And do you have the experience as of now on configuring your system into different payroll markets?
True, sir. In fact, if you look at the end, all the modules that we offer today, one of the most strong, unique selling points that we would like to focus on is going to be payroll, because like I said, our payroll is probably much stronger than other products in the market today. And you were mentioning Workday, right? So Workday only offers a few countries for payroll, right? And even the countries where it offers, it's not as robust as, say, an ADP or some other systems. So our goal is to touch about 70 countries in terms of payroll. So we have about 15 countries currently, and it is when I say we are providing it for a country, we are providing it 100% for that country. Whether it could be 13-month pay, it could be, there are so many, I would say geographically, specific things for payroll, and we have everything covered. So we have in-house functional consultants who have worked with these products in different geographies, who have helped us build this product for different geographies. And India, obviously, we're very strong. We're strong, very, very strong for Middle East as well. And whatever countries we've done, we're very strong for Malaysia, Singapore, Thailand, Philippines, and Vietnam. But any country that we do, it's going to be a robust payroll. So it's going to be as good as, our goal is to see that even if you outsource it to ADP today, there is a lot of manual intervention that happens. So how do you automate even those manual tasks is what we're focusing on.
Thank you so much. Congratulations and best wishes for future.
Sure. Thank you, sir.
Hi, Rahul. I'm audible? Yeah.
Hi, sir.
So Rahul, it's a very good presentation, and it really gives confidence in the product what you are today launching. But a few things I like to know. I have few questions. First thing is, in HR nowadays, it's not only the data gathering or processing the data, or maybe employee relations only. We day to day collect lot of data which remain as a benchmark to take future decisions, policy changes, maybe certain things. So is there any possibility to just tag those data or information as a benchmark, so that later on policy decision can be taken care with the help of those? Because those normally remain unorganized in HR. We get so many informations from here and there, and normally remain unorganized.
So could you help me out with a sample benchmark that you were referring to? Like
yes, sample benchmark you talk about, we have a policies, okay, recruitment policy, maybe promotion policies, but we keep on benchmarking competitors in respect to, and simply say local conveyance policy, or maybe travel policy. We keep on benchmarking the competitors so that we can keep on changing, upgrading the policies as well. So is there any possibility that we can keep those data safe, so whenever time is required, we can just have all such benchmark in one go and then take the decision?
So currently, sir, there's a workaround for that. We have something called custom fields, which are calculated fields. So what you can do is you can create a custom field. For example, say we don't offer compensation ratio, right? Comp ratio or whatever, right? So we have that, but say it was comp ratio. So you can build your custom formula with using our custom formula builder. You can build an equation around what are the influencing factors, and store this at certain, and
Isn't
then
it good to have a competitors benchmark itself, a template?
Currently, we don't do that, sir, because industry benchmarks are probably confidential. So we don't have any competitor benchmark at this point. So currently, all of our benchmarks come out of your own data that you feed in.
No, it is definitely come out our data, but
Yes, sir.
somewhere to store them, correlate them.
Currently, we don't have that, sir. But definitely, I think I'll take your inputs on and how we can kind of bring that in, because certain things are very sensitive. So I'm not sure we can. But if there's some generic data from a survey, we can put in, because even Glassdoor data today is not very accurate. So even if you have, say, an industry data that you want to put in there, it has to be authenticated by someone when you're putting something there. So the challenge is with getting the right data to put it there, not about us trying to put it there. So.
Okay. And second thing, what about, because I'm not able to see whether we are really able to see the trend of increments. If employee remain quite long here in the 10 years, 12 years, can we do the complete track of the career within the organization or something?
Yeah, sir.
That is possible.
Career progression, their talent history, their certifications, everything is available, and you can. So that's what we're trying to do, sir. So because if you switch to a single system, you have all this data in one place, and then you have transactional data as well, which is what is giving us all these insights. So every single facet of an employee attribute is available in a single
And last question.
at the same place.
During the PMS, we have a lot of KRAs. And, but unfortunately, against each KRA, we have to fill the data ourselves.
Right.
Is there any possibility that it extract data from the ERP itself, analyze it, and
So we can do that as long as your ERP can provide employee ID, goal ID. So we need to, in the iPaaS, we need to configure these APIs in such a way that, for example, we can integrate with a lot of tools today like Teams or Slack, where, if there's any goal progress there, you can integrate with a specific KRA. We can do that, but that would be dependent on your ERP's possibility of exporting the data, sir. Without having to definitely not having to manually again update that data here. Yeah.
thanks a lot.
Sure.
Rahul.
Thanks a lot,
Thanks.
sir.
Hi Rahul, this is Chandra Prakash here. Hey.
Hi, sir.
Hi. First of all, congratulations, and of course, a great presentation. Probably one of the most desirous HCM, because you have worked with so many HCM platforms, but to get all modules into one, good job. I think a great job. Thank you. Now, I represent Teleperformance, okay, and we are a very, very fast growing organization with close to about 85,000 employees, right? And I run the HR help desk for them. Now, one of the things that we are looking for is scalability from our HCM platform, right? We tried to develop our own HCM system almost a year ago, and we're still trying to develop some modules in it. Now, my question is, how scalable is this product of yours, right? And how quickly will you be able to deploy and implement a system with an addition of 15 to 20,000 employees every year?
So when it comes to scalability, sir, see, now everyone is hosted on the cloud. Obviously, cloud is scalable, but what really matters is how is your application architecture going to enable the scaling, right? So there are a couple of things with respect to scalability. One is the use of microservices, which enable you to scale. Most of your any new age product today works on microservices. The second part is the architecture of AWS. So we use Kubernetes, which is a concept where very, very quickly it scales. So say a minute ago it was like 10,000 users, a minute later it is say 2 lakh users, it will still scale. The third thing is the code standards that we have implemented. So with respect to code optimization that we have done, we have tested it for tens and thousands of employees. So every release we do, we check every API for scalability. So I can assure that scalability is not an issue. Your second question was with respect to implementation. So
Yes.
see, we spend a lot of time in pre-sales and solutioning. So implementation typically should not take more than 8 weeks. But again, that depends on getting the right data at the right time, and stakeholders being available, because you said, there are so many modules, and we'll have, especially a large organization, will have different stakeholders. So understanding their current business process and taking a sign off from them and then configuring it. If you would ask me, we can do an implementation in as less as in as small as 1 week also. But again, there is solutioning that needs to happen. So I would say for larger organizations, 8 to 12 weeks, but for smaller organizations, 6 to 8 weeks is what a typical implementation takes.
Thank you.
Sure.
Hi, congratulations.
Thanks.
Very nice presentation too. I don't know if I missed it, but did you mention anything in the product about merit planning and incentives?
The first one was med planning.
Merit planning.
Merit
and
planning. Yeah, so we have our compensation module, which I did not cover here. So you have merit planning, you have just like other products offer, right? So you have your yearly merit planning, and then you have incentives also, which can be, so you have all the different input parameters which you can look at and compare. You can set, say for example, for rating 1, you do this merit planning, you set a budget, you then assign planners, and then so the entire compensation module will cover merit planning and incentive management.
Sure, thank you.
Sure.
Hi Rahul, congratulations. It's good to see a product which has the complete employee lifecycle modules in one go rather than having the need to integrate with the external modules. I just have a question. I represent a management consulting firm, and we're running many organizations within one organization. With respect to different kind of contracts that we have, different policies that we have, different payroll cycles, attendance capturing. Does this solution cater to that kind of requirement or configuration?
The challenge here is, ma'am, that we have something called organization, which is an overarching thing, which is where the subdomain comes from, right? So if your organization is x.akrivihcm.com, under which we have entities, which are legal entities. So you can put any number of legal entities, and all these configurations are legal entity specific. But the only challenge is, I'm sure every legal entity of yours would expect their own domain, and for the ESS portal, I suppose.
No, there are no different legal entities. It's one organization, but the kind of for my different clients, my payroll cycles, my attendance cycles, my policies would differ.
So employee to employee, you can change payroll cycle, because in most cases attendance cycle and payroll cycles don't match. So you can configure any number of every specific employee. You can put them into a separate group. So every employee has an attendance cycle, they have a pay cycle. So based on that, whenever you run payroll, you run them in batches, and then based on that, you get your statutory report also in terms of batches, bank transfers also in terms of batches.
Just one more question. Since you're going international in due course of time along with Dubai, I have a question for European markets. GDPR is a must compliance. So do we have certain attributes built in the system? Because sooner or later it will catch up in the APAC countries as well.
Yeah, we are in fact, see, GDPR is a standard, so it's only about complying with the standard. So it's about, if an employee wants his data to be not used for certain thing, we allow that. If an employee a certain employee's data has to be deleted after a certain point, we do that. So we provide everything in the configuration, but that said, in India especially, certain organizations want the data to stay with them. So we allow that as well, but in terms of compliance, we give them that compliance. So for example, when we go to Europe, for example, for GDPR, right? So it will not be optional, it will be mandatory for them to use that. So in India, we have configurations to write for erasure, write for not sharing information, everything. There it will be mandatory. Here currently in India it's optional, because they want even ex-employee data to be stored in because he might be rehired at a later stage, or so there are so many data points that Indian companies are very specific about. But like I said, we are complying with GDPR norms from a settings perspective. So tomorrow we enter Europe, we can always make them mandatory and comply with their standard.
Thank you so much, and
Sure.
Congratulations.
Sure, ma'am. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Okay, one last one.
Thank you, UBS and Akrivia, for such a good presentation. Thank you, Rahul, for taking us through it. I have 4 questions. One is, you spoke about the surveys. So are we going to take care of the pulse survey also on a periodic basis? That is number 1 question. Number 2 is, I represent a company which is into mobility services. We provide end-to-end employee mobilities for Fortune 500 companies. Now here we have some of the employees who are deployed at different sites. Say it could be Tesco, it could be HSBC, you name it, and we'll have the
I'm extremely sorry, ma'am. The sound is really getting distorted. I'm not able to
Okay,
clearly.
is it clear now?
Now it's clear.
Okay. I represent a company which is into mobility services.
Okay.
That means we are providing the mobility service for end-to-end organization, and we have employees who are deployed at various sites. All of them are Fortune 500 companies, and these people are working on the shifts, because when we are providing the employee mobility, obviously their employees would be in the shifts. So one is my biggest pain point with my present ERP system or ESS is on the shift rostering. That is number one. Number two, I'm more keen on the pulse surveys for the employees. Third is, since we are providing the services for the Fortune 500 companies, compliance is the key driver. Obviously, it is one of the point which actually enables us to clear our invoices. In your system, rather in our system which I'm using right now, compliance is the biggest pain part because it is not integrated with any of the outside portal. Right. So do you have that scope wherein whatever data is there in our payroll can be uploaded into the compliance website, like it could be Simpliance, it could be for SQL, Compify or anything. Fourth, we have recently launched a graduate management training program. That means we'll be inviting applications from various campuses and open site. So what is the projection of your, or what is the scalability of your system for having that graduate management training program? If all these questions are in, I invite you on the side for a meeting with us.
I'm sure I would have forgotten all of your questions, so I'll start with the first. I remember the shift roster question.
Yeah, shift roster question, pulse survey, and compliance, and graduate management training.
So for the shift roster part, so how our structure works is the base level is something called sessions. So we create a session, then it gets assigned to a shift. So a shift can have multiple sessions, because if you want to track in and out for breaks and things like that, you can configure it into a shift, and then it gets assigned to a shift group. Shift group has rosters, like you said, right? It could be ABCD holiday, ABCD holiday, right? So, and every session that you configure or shift that you configure, you can configure from when it should be considered as in, when it should be considered out, how much grace period you want, and all these things, through which auto shift allocation also happens. So with respect to night shifts, I think we in fact have shift based holidays as well. So because when we were doing implementation for a beta customer, they had employees who were working for the US customer, and their holiday cycle had to be the US customer's holiday cycle. So we have shift based holidays as well, and shift roster is a normal process that we have, and I'm sure your existing product will also have that, and we have a similar process, which is what I just explained. So coming to the pulse surveys part, now we have a very robust survey module, like I said. So we have two kinds of surveys. One is the incident surveys. Incident survey is not a pulse survey. Incident survey is a survey that is triggered at critical points in the employee life cycle. So the reason we came up with this thing was we wanted to understand the sentiment across the employee life cycle. So important critical events, so that is the incident survey part, where you can configure lots of questions, including matrix questions, multiple choice and everything, and then analyze those things question wise, feedback wise. You can create anonymous surveys, you can create closed surveys, and a lot of things. Coming to your pulse surveys, I think that would be more in the lines of our driver based surveys. So drivers are something, anything, the leadership or satisfaction or any attribute that you would want to categorize these things into. There you can configure pulse surveys, and you can trigger them whenever you want based on a certain timeline. You can send reminders of people who are not completing the surveys, and then analyze these details and take action based on the survey. So it's just not collecting data from surveys, but acting on the surveys also, which we focus a lot on. And in terms of configuring the survey, I think we have almost every question type that Qualtrics offers. So I'm sure Qualtrics is a very popular survey product. So, and analysis and analytics also, we offer almost more than what Qualtrics or any other Lattice or any other niche survey product offers in the market today. And these things can also be triggered from the chatbot as well, if needed. I mean, that's a fancy feature, but realistically speaking, I think doing it on a mobile app through our survey module is more user-friendly from a user perspective. And I answered two of your questions.
Yeah, compliance.
So compliance, could you give me an example, ma'am, of what you mean by compliance?
Okay, like for example, say our vehicles are deployed at LinkedIn. I'm just giving you an example. And what happens is before we release, once the billing date is over, we have to send the invoice to the client.
Okay.
Along with the client invoice, we have to share some of the HR compliances. Like for example, the drivers, the supervisors, the shift supervisors or the managers who are deployed at that site are completely covered under all the statutory compliances. It could be provident fund, it could be bonus, it could be say ESIC, and there are a number of forms which has to be done. Once we give complete data of these compliances, then only the invoice will be released by that particular company. So today what happens is we have to engage an outside compliance vendor who will be doing the compliance as HR is already focused, or we have a short number of people in our company for the HR. So what happens is we deploy some of the compliance executive. They will do the compliances on their website. It could be Simpliance, it could be Compify, or any other compliance thing. So I was just thinking, in case if we have an option of integrating the third-party compliance software with us, so that from the payroll directly the data goes and we can just extract the reports and we can attach it with the invoices.
So what I could understand, what we could probably do is we can create some new fields which are, like you said, if a certain person has been insured, or if insured is a yes or no kind of attribute kind of field that we create, this field can be integrated with a third party system. If that data is being updated from a third party system, we will have the data in our system, and then with our custom reports we can generate a report with a field that is showing whether he is compliant with this thing or not. So we have a very open API system, and how we can definitely take a lot of data and output a lot of data. So I'm not sure how exactly it fits into your requirement, but any other system, if SAP is able to do something with an API, we can do the same thing. So what an API can do, we can do. Beyond that, I'm not sure what we can do. So
okay. Last question, rather one more question. When you were saying about the languages, since we have, we operate out of all the 29 states, so we'll have employees. In fact, the blue collar workers like drivers, they would be working from different states. So do you have a vernacular? You mentioned that you have 6 languages, Indian languages. So do you have a scope of having all the various?
I mean, our language takes us about 3-4 days to kind of build. So
right. Because
it's part of the
at the
architecture.
field of driver or the supervisor who are more familiar with their local language, the written thing can be. Final question on the campus interviews on the graduate management training.
Right, so for campus, scalability is not an issue, because as standard we offer, even a database that we offer is almost 1 lakh database that we offer for storage as well. For people applying from the career page, so what we typically have to do in this campus case scenario is, you create an RRF for hiring these graduate management trainees, you share this link with the placement officer at the team, and they get a career page where there is an opportunity to upload their resumes there, which get collected against this RRF, and then the interview process is straightforward. So scalability, I don't think is an issue. So that shouldn't be an issue. Yeah.
Thank you so much. I look
Sure.
forward to meet
Sure.
you on Saturday then.
Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Rahul, okay, in interest of time, I think you will have more questions, but I will request everyone to please get hold of Rahul and the team. They are just outside with the experience zone, and they have a big team for this product launch. Please get hold of them and get your questions answered. Right? Thank you, Rahul, once
Sure,
again
sure.
for your
Thanks.
time and presentation.